Welcome to a new, different kind of video. Today I just wanted to kind of like explain why I love PICROSS so much. Kind of explain like all my little techniques, like a bit of history. It's just like a funny little thing. I was like, so basically, this game is called Logiart Grimoire. It's a game on Steam made by the developer, the Jupiter developer, which are people that makes the PICROSS series, mostly on PICROSS E on the 3DS and Switch. So they're developers that are like, they know their shit about PICROSSes, like they know what they're doing. And basically, Logiart Grimoire is like a game on Steam where like it's more PICROSS, but the main concept is that you have to assemble, combine. I'm not gonna show everything, just not spoil everything. But you have to like combine two PICROSS to create a new one. And you have to deal with elements and stuff like that just to make a new kind of PICROSS. So it's a really fun game. I really recommend it. The main reason I wanted to play this again is because they had a DLC, which I bought. And I kind of wanted to showcase like just a little bit of things. I only did like the first 3 puzzles, and when I did the last one, I was like, oh, kind of makes me want to talk about PICROSS, because I have a history with PICROSS in general. So first off, some people call it nonogram. I don't really know why there's a difference between nonogram and PICROSS, because they're the same thing as far as I know. Like, yeah, I don't really understand that. Cause I think it's maybe something in the East, like Japanese only or something. So I like the music, but I just wanted to talk a bit like without the music. But yeah, it's the same thing. If you heard of nonogram, it's the same thing, same name. But I prefer calling it PICROSS, which I mean, it's the name that most people seems to know them about. But yeah, I don't know. If you know why there's a distinction in the comment, you can let me know. I could Google it, but I'm lazy. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. So if I'm rambling a little bit, like this is just kind of like a little fun video that I wanted to make as an aside, just to talk a little bit about my passion with it. I am a huge like PICROSS enthusiast. I don't know if I would call it myself an expert because I feel like too bragging, but I'm definitely very good at it. I have actually at this point in my life, I've probably finished more than 1,000 PICROSS, counting all the different games. But I'm gonna talk about it later. Let me actually like show you like, so like I played this and I was like, oh, maybe that seems like a cool example to show. Was it this one? Yeah, to show like how to solve a PICROSS. I'm gonna try to explain, but just it's gonna be hard to explain everything because it's something that's very, to me, like my brain automatically thinks about all the little strategy. PICROSSes, I don't even explain what the concept is about. The concept is basically to fill the picture with like squares. When you fill up all the squares, it makes it like a picture with all the squares. And you can see the numbers on the left, on the top. They're basically showing you how many squares you need to fill in each like line or column. And the main thing is that between each numbers is it means there's at least a space between them. So for example, if you take like the first column, for example, or whatever, like the first line, 4 and 2, it basically means that wherever on this line there is a 4 and then there's a 2. But it could be 4 and then the 2 could be all the way there. You don't know how many spaces are not filled in between. You only know that like in a row there's 4 and then 2. It's very simple, very easy to understand. I know a lot of people like have trouble with picrosses at first, and I was one of them, but I'm gonna explain that later on. But it's actually, I think, a very simple concept. I'm also a Sudoku enjoyer. I'm not good at it. I'm very beginner at Sudoku, but I do enjoy them. And I think like Sudoku is way more like difficult in terms of logic, because picrosses, the main thing is that everything makes sense. Like everything is like logical. Sudoku, like the more expert things, you have to like basically say like, oh, maybe if it's this, then later that means that it can work like this and then this, and you know what I mean? While picrosses, like most of it, like there's still like a very little part of like expert tech that you have to basically guess. There's like a bit of guesswork, but like I would say that 90% of it is like logical. Like everything makes sense and it should make sense, you know? There's no like, I don't know. Everything is like a succession of like things that make sense. I don't know if what I'm saying is actually makes sense myself, but you know. But yeah. For solving picrosses, the best way is to start by the borders if you can. Like the main two things that I consider when I start a picross is the borders and the big numbers. If both of these conditions are there, then that means it's something that you probably should do. For example, 8 and 5 is a great way to start. It's on the border, it's near the border, and you have a lot of numbers. 8 and 5 is 13, so that means like you basically know everything. So, once you know what, you can also start there, 10 and 1, 1, which we're gonna do after. Like once you know where to start, basically I would say the main thing in picrosses, the main strategy that you should adopt like for like pretty much everything, how would I even call it, is the beginning and the end. And what I mean by that is that you should always try to see if the beginning works. Like, do the beginning and then the end. Like, I'm gonna explain this, like with just like this. So for example, it says 8 and 5. So what you should always do is you do 8, and then you do like 5. And you see that, okay? Then, that was the beginning, you started from the left. Now, if you start from the right, I know I'm gonna show actually, like I did that, but I'm gonna show you with this, which is like just a thing to tell you. I always do this, it's one of my strategy, like you put like these things to tell you. Then you start from the right, and then you do 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you combine both of them, you can see if both of them as a square field, that means it's like it's true. I know I'm very bad at explaining things. It's gonna make sense like when you're gonna see it, but so basically I did like 8 and 5, and now I'm gonna do 5 and 8. I'm only gonna fill the squares that are the same on both things. So if I start from the right, then it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, like 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can, now you know that on both sides, both are combined together and both are filled, which means this is true. This is just like a logical conclusion. I know it might not make sense, but basically always try to get like from the left and from the right, from the left, from the right, like everything, or from the top and the bottom, top and the bottom. Like always do this in like every situation, if you don't know. But yeah, once you have like a line like this, the next step is like, that's actually a great example, because what I'm gonna do now, what I like to do is, you see, I'm checking the numbers on the top, like the column, and I check the last number, so the number on the bottom. So for example, there it's 4, there it's 2, there it's 2, 1, etc. Because this is 2, that means it's either this or this. Same strategy, beginning and the end. Because this is both 2, then you don't really know, you can't really do anything. But then you have this one where it's 1. The first one is 1. Because you know this is 1, that means you can do this. Because this is the only one, like you know the square is filled, so you know there's a space automatically before and after. Hope it makes sense. So yeah, you can do the same thing there. Now for this, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can tell that both are filled, combined together. It's literally, PICROSS, it's the biggest strategy. Like 90% of what you're doing is this. It's just the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end. So you know this one is 1. Like after a while you start to know. For example, like you can see 2 on 2, so you know 2, 2. This is like 2 on 1, so you know like 2 can't be there, so yeah. This is 4 automatically because it starts with 4. It might not make sense. I don't know how much it makes sense, like visually. But again, it's something that's like after a while you get used to it. Like if you're new to PICROSS and you see this and you're getting like you're being like, wow, that seems very difficult. It's actually really not. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything. It's really something that like after a while you get used to it. Also, hang on. Hang on a second. Fine. An issue. So yeah, like if you're new to PICROSS, like it's gonna be a thing that at first you're gonna be very like it's gonna be difficult, but the more you do it, the more you're gonna get better at it. It's a thing that like you literally like your brain progresses more and more the more you know like the little strategies. But yeah, like now that you know like the main strat, then yeah, you can basically do like you can start feeding everything. So for example, there you can see that like there's a 4 and there's a 3. There's only 2 squares, so you know this is not true because there needs to be 3 squares. So they're automatically in the middle. There's a 2. But yeah, this is basically like the main strategy of PICROSS. Let's start from like, there's a lot of solution for this PICROSS. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, I can. Like you see how I'm doing this 3, 4, 4, and then I'm doing it from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's literally this. PICROSS is literally this. Like you don't need to be like that like extremely smart at it. It's just a matter of like doing the beginning and the end all the time. Which sounds like a very annoying process, but it's really not. There I know like so there I know that like there's a 3, but it can't be 3 because it will make 4. So I know like this one is not like a square, for example. I'm gonna try to explain my little things, like my thought process, but it's kinda hard. Because again, it's something that like very brain, like my brain automatically like associate things, but yeah. Yeah, let's do this. Did I count that right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1. Okay, so this is another thing. That's a new little strat, I guess, if you can call it that. Like, you see, I have the third line there. If you see the numbers on the top, 1, 2, and then 2, 1, because you have a third line, this is a 1, and you don't know. The 1 could be either this or there's a 1 there. But because you know, like the 1, this is like kind of like an advanced strat. It's just like, it's not like an expert or anything. Because you know it has to start with a 1, and you know it's either this one or this one. If you think about it, both situations don't have a square in there. Because if it's this, then 2 has to be there. And if it's 1, then there's no square here. So you know that this is not a square. Same for this. Because this is 2, it could be 2, it could be 2, but it's never gonna be 2. So you know this is not a square. You see my thought process? So that's a little tips. Because this is 4, like, you know, it has to start with 4, so everything that doesn't have 4 in it, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's basically like how it works. If there's some other strats, I'm gonna tell you about it, but yeah. But you know, like, it starts with a 5, because it can't be 5 over there, so you know it's 5 over there. That starts with a 3, so it can't be a 3, that means it's 4. That's not what I meant. Maybe I'm going too fast, but I know it's a bad video to explain things. I'm very bad at explaining things, but I just wanted to kind of show, like, why I love PICROSS so much and why it's like 3. Like, I guess I can explain a little bit. My first experience with PICROSS was Zelda PICROSS, and not the one on 3DS, but a ROMhack of well, like a fan, not really a ROMhack, but a fan game. A fan game of Link to the Past, made by a French guy that made multiple Link to the Past fan games. In the past, that was a long time ago, like in 2000, I don't know, dude, 6 maybe? I don't know. I think that was like more than 15 years ago at least. Yeah, that was more than 15 years ago. So that's how long it was. But yeah, that guy made like a Zelda PICROSS. I really recommend it. I'm gonna put it in the description if I think about it. It's also in English, I'm pretty sure. Very impressive for its time, can I just say. To have like a Zelda PICROSS that's actually really cool, because it has a RPG element to it. Like, you solve PICROSSes and you have like the art system. Like, you start with 3 arts, and you have to solve PICROSSes to keep going on the map, and you can gain like art containers and items like the bow or the bombs to progress further to the map. It's a really good game, but it's fucking hard. Like, it's insanely hard. That's not a good association to PICROSS. If you're good at PICROSSes, I recommend like you play this game, because it's a really good game, but it's a really difficult game. Like, not an easy PICROSS game. But it's really fun for like anyone that enjoys Zelda and PICROSSes in general. I heavily recommend it. It's way better than like the Zelda PICROSS on 3DS to me. Because again, I love the RPG element of it, like where you progress more and more. You even like have bosses where you have to, which I don't like, because you have to solve 2 PICROSSes in a row with the same amount of health. Basically, every mistake you make in the PICROSS, you lose health. And if you lose all your health, then you have to restart the entire PICROSS. Which, it is kind of annoying. But yeah. So basically, my first experience with Picross was Zelda Picross. So you can imagine it was not like a good first experience because it was really difficult. But I really loved the game in general. I cheesed my way through it. With basically like when I was about to die, I took a picture of with my phone to like where I was, and then I had to feel everything again by just looking at my phone. So it was really funny to do that back in the day. But yeah, my first experience was this, and I came back to it multiple times because there was a point in the game, basically midway through, that I couldn't progress because one of the boss has like 3 picrosses in a row that you have to solve, and it's very difficult. I think it's the bomb boss or something. So it was like extremely hard. And you only have like 3 mistakes, and I didn't even understand how to play Picross at the time properly. But yeah, so I came back to it multiple times during the years. I know the second time I played it, I'm pretty sure I did the same thing. I stopped at the same place. Then the third time, I beat the game, maybe? Or I think I went ahead and I think I stopped near the final boss because it was very hard to. I don't know. And then I think the fourth time I came to him, I beat the game. I'm pretty sure I came back a 5th time, like recently, like 2 years ago or something, and I beat it completely again. But yeah, that was like my experience with Picrosses, my first experience. I'm gonna check my game on my Steam library. Steam, my Steam library to see all the Picross games I played. My great, I type pick and I don't even see. Okay, so I played PicroSses, which was a really funny game. That was 4 years ago that I played that probably. I need to replay this. It could be fun. I'm trying to think what experiences of Picrosses I had before PicroSses. But I'm pretty sure. I think my second true experience with Picrosses was Picross S on the S2 on the Switch. I'm not sure. That's when I started to be like, oh yeah, I kind of like Picrosses. Because after playing Zelda Picross a lot, and I was really bad at it, but I became better and better. Then I played PicroQuest, then I played Picross S2. And I also bought Picross S4, I think, later on. God, I can't even remember what Picrosses I fucking played. But anyway, my recent experience, I don't remember what made me good at the Picross again. I don't know. I think that was Logiart Grimoire, maybe? I don't know. I feel like there was another game. What other game was I really good at? I don't know. I will say, Logiart Grimoire, the game I'm playing right now, is also a game that like I was very excited to play it because I was following Jupiter, like the people behind PICROSS. And when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's for me. I love this game. And this game has a lot of difficult PICROSses. I first didn't want to recommend this game for beginners, but I do recommend it because I am something I didn't mention. I'm playing without any hints, without any like help whatsoever. But if you check the settings, there's a lot of accessibility settings. For example, something that I heavily recommend for any beginners is to use this. It basically shows you which line on column you can solve. Like it's gonna show in blue. I guess I can show it. Yeah, it shows in blue every line on column that you can solve, which is something that I heavily recommend for any beginners. I should have started with that actually. I'm dumb, whatever. It's actually like, yeah. Also, something that's also helpful, you can use this to show your mistake. If you make a mistake, it's gonna show you, which is also like a really good accessibility thing. This I don't recommend, it's kind of like, eh. it fills one horizontal or vertical line randomly at the beginning of a puzzle. If you want it, you can. I think it's dumb. Kind of defeats the purpose. But if you want, but yeah, like those two, if you're a beginner, do it. Me, I'm like I said, I'm good at it, so I haven't used any hints in like ages. Like I basically beat all the picrosses in Logiart Grimoire without any hint whatsoever. No pictures, no anything. Like all on my own. Oh yeah, what I wanted to say on Picross S. These days, on when it came out, I'm playing Picross S Plus, which is a compilation of like all the Picross E on the eShop that came on the 3DS. And I fully completed Picross S1 and S2, and I'm on my way to S3. Again, all with no hints, all on my own. So like I said, I'm an avid Picross fan. Like for now, like I love Picrosses so much. If you have a Switch, I would heavily recommend you buy it. Picross S Plus, I heavily recommend it. You can also buy the Picross S series if you want. Like they're all very good. I haven't played all of them, but I know the quality is there. It gets progressively better. They add more and more stuff after everything. Like basically, like S1 is like very the base one, and then the more you keep going, the more they add like new modes, new accessibility options and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to Switch, I heavily recommend you either Picross S Plus or one of the Picross S series. And if you're on Steam, I heavily recommend you Logiart Grimoire that I'm playing. I think everyone can enjoy it with the hints. I didn't know, like I said, at first I was like, this game is too hard. But no, it is hard, but I think you can do it if you use the hints. If you don't, if you want to be like me and have no help, this is probably one of the hardest Picross game I've seen. There's probably way more like in the market because well, I'm gonna show you after when I'm done with this, but just to show you like a bit. I'm annoyed. It shows that I whatever. It shows that I cheated, which is not even true, but whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. Oh, well, like, I'm putting crosses there because 2 and there is a 1. It's always gonna be a 1, so of course, because there's a 1 and this. But yeah. I know it's not a great video, I know I'm bad at explaining, but I just kind of wanted to talk about like my passions for Picrosses, because it's, like again, it's something like, it's something that I really love, I really enjoy deeply. Like I've played so much of it, and I keep getting back to it more and more, because of how fun it is. I don't know what's so fun about it. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I think it just, I don't know, it's just satisfying to play. Just to see like every like the picture getting filled more and more, and you make progress to it. I think it's just like the overall progress that's fun to me. I'm very curious to see like what other people would say about it. Like why do they like it so much? But yeah. But yeah, what else could I say? Like I'm gonna show you more of Logiart Grimoire after that. But yeah, picrosses is really fun. I heavily recommend you play with ints, like I said. I genuinely think like everyone can play picrosses if they put their time in, if we put some time into it. Again, it's a thing that's very intimidating at first, but the more you play, the more you start to understand how everything works, and it's yeah, it's great. I love it. There we go. Oh yeah, when you complete the PICROSS, then it shows like a little picture, often with the name. There, because there's DLC, they don't show you the names, but yeah, normally they show you the names of what you just did. So it's a really cool thing. But yeah, the main reason why this game is very hard is because, okay, first off, you have 280 PICROSS to do, which is already a lot, but then you have also, I think it's 24 more picrosses that are like random. Basically, when you fail to combine picrosses, you're in the main mode, you get those. And you have the main meat, the 115 picrosses that are made by users, by actual people. From what I can tell, like they all have like a username on the top left. And that was my first time where I did. Okay, so basically, picrosses. Most of the time, you're gonna see picrosses that are like 10-10 or 15-15. 15 by 15 is the average picross, or like the average size of picrosses is 15-15. Most of the games you're gonna see them having that. Sometimes they can go a little bit higher, or like it could be like a 15 by 10. Sometimes it could be a 20 by 15 also. But then this game, that was my first time actually playing picrosses that are like 30 by 30, which was kind of crazy and really tough. But then there's also 40 by 30, which was even more insane. And yes, all of them. You can see my time on the top right, by the way. This one took me 3 hours. You can see it took me like 1 hour for each, like 130. My times are I think are pretty fast for some of them. Like even for the fact that it took me like an hour is like actually kind of fast, I think, depending on stuff. But yeah, like 15 by 15, my average time is always, I mean, it very depends on if the picross is difficult or not. But it's usually, I say usually because again, it's not the case, but it's around the 10 minutes mark. Often lower than 10 minutes. More than 15 minutes is, there's probably something that went wrong somewhere. Like, yeah, like you can see all my times, they're all like below 10 minutes. This one, something went wrong somewhere. But yeah. I probably FK'd. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Sometimes some of them could be extremely difficult. But yeah, overall, like my time with picrosses, like even in S plus, it's around like less than 10 minutes. Yeah, like you can kind of see like most of them like are around like that or just 10 minutes. So yeah. I feel like I'm pretty fast at them. I don't know how fast like the experts are, but I feel like I'm pretty fast sometimes. But yeah, what else did I want to say? What did I want on these dungeons? Oh yeah, but just to show that, yeah, like the 40 by 30, if you want to see the monstrosity, that it is. Yeah, look at this shit. That was my first time playing those. Only it was a bit small. Basically, okay, I will say what I like about the big PICROSses that I played is that you have a sense of progression. It basically you have to start. I've noticed that you have to start somewhere, often in a border. Hang on, actually, hang on a second. Yeah, sorry, I'm so sorry for my neighbors. But anyway, so basically, like you start somewhere, and then you keep going from this side. This one was probably very annoying because there are many sides, probably. Like even looking at this, I'm just like, where the fuck do we even start? It's very annoying. Like this is probably one of the most annoying. Yeah, well, it took me 3 hours for a reason because it was exhausting. But yeah, it's only a matter like, for example, like I see the 11 there. To the 13. Like this is probably like a way you can do like this is a start, for example. And then you want to provide 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But yeah. What was cool about those is that like you keep progressing more and more. It was basically section by section. Like you can, for example, have something like this. Like I'm just gonna make a random shape, but and then like it keeps going and going and going and going. Like you keep exploring more and more like this. Like you keep solving this more and more, and it makes sense. Like you're not gonna be like you do have sometimes maybe like something like this happening, but then it's just like whatever until you get to it, unless it's really needed. But most of the time it's just gonna be like a shape like this, and you're gonna keep expanding, which was cool because some of the 15 by 15 don't work like that. You have to work on multiple plans depending if the Picross is difficult or not. I would say most of the time, for example, you start at the border and you keep going that way, you keep expanding more and more. But a lot of the 15 by 15 Picrosses are just that's what's annoying sometimes, and it can take a while, is when you have a lot of things at once. Like let me see, like for example, like one that took me a while. Yeah, let's see this one for example. I don't know why it took me so long, but at first glance, that doesn't seem too bad. I can already, can already see a lot of big numbers, so that helps. For example, I can see 2 and 6. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good example. Maybe I FK'd there. I wouldn't be surprised if I FK'd the puzzle. To have 30 minutes, that's probably what happened. Probably FK'd. But yeah, like, for example, like, I know it's not the case, but usually, like, you can have something like this, and then you keep expanding line by line, or column by column. This is often how it works, but there's a lot of Picrosses that don't work that way. Especially when it's in the middle, when it's not in the border, but you have to walk in the middle, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do. But yeah. I don't know, I just ramble a lot. This video is not that great, but I just kind of wanted to show you, like, my love for Picross. Because it's, again, like, it's something I really enjoy. I do think I'm good at it. I still wouldn't really call myself an expert, but if you have good Picrosses game that you want to recommend to me, I would love to play them, or like just check them out. Though I say that, but I like I said, I'm still working on Picross S3 right now. Well, E3, sorry, Picross E3. On Picross S Plus. I know it's dumb. Their names are dumb, but basically I'm playing like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna finish all of Picross S Plus because basically Picross E1 took me 32 hours to beat all 300 Picrosses. On Picross E2 took me 42 hours to beat all 300 Picrosses plus the clip Picrosses. So if it keeps going like this, and there's 9 of them, there's 9 Picross E, it might take me more than 500 hours to beat the whole thing. And Picrosses are like it's a game that I play randomly, just from time to time. I beat like 2 or 3 Picrosses like randomly, and then I take a break for like an hour, and then I play it again. Then I take a break. Then I play it again. You know, it's a game. Picrosses are great because it's very short. It takes like very little time, and you can just do like a few ones, and then just be like, yeah, okay, I'm good for now. You can even kind of. I don't really recommend it. I sometimes I do it, but I usually don't stand for too long because it's distracting me for too much while watching shows or movies. But it does distract you a lot, so I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're really good at it, or like at multitasking. Um, like I've tried multiple times to play Picrosses when I was just like I was watching a show or something, and sometimes I was just being like very distracted or like making dumb mistakes because of it. So yeah, but it is cool to just be able to like do this, and you feel smart. You feel smart doing them. You feel proud and accomplished when you complete one. So yeah, it's really games that I recommend. So yeah, I really recommend Logiart Grimoire if you like what you see. Definitely heavily recommend it. I do think it's probably the best Picross game on Steam. I don't Mm, yeah, I mean, because it has the best like I mean it has like a great UI. It has many songs, by the way. You only had one song, which was one that I chose. But if I can even show you um like some of the settings, there's a lot of settings that like most speedruns games don't even have. Things for cursor speed. You can change what the LR button do. Um, that's just for gameplay purposes. You have like 7 different songs for Picrosses, which is a lot. I don't know why they should so much. So yeah, like you have a lot like of options if you want to like have a dark mode and stuff like that. So it's great. I genuinely think it's like the best Picross game maybe like ever. I don't know, because it's just so fun to play. Like the music is great, visuals are great, like it's fun. So yeah, heavily recommend to play it and buy it. It's very cheap. It's like $10, I think. For like what you have, let me see how much is it, but I'm pretty sure it's $10. Uh, oh, never mind. It's 20. Ah, okay. Well, you do have a lot of content. You do have like more than 500 Picrosses in this, so which is a lot. But you can probably wait on the sale. I think this game goes on sale. Maybe it's gonna be on sale. I don't know. If it is though, but it is $20, so it is kind of a bit much. I would have probably put it at 15 instead of 20. I will still say it's worth it just because of the time you're gonna spend in it. Because it does have like long picrosses. Like it has 30 by 30 on 30 by 40. Which is something I haven't seen anywhere else. But I mean, again, like I don't really know that much about like if it's really a lot of things. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. I don't know if I did my job properly to show my love, but yeah, I genuinely love Picrosses. I'm gonna keep playing them because it's just really fun, dude. I don't know. I just really enjoy them. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Um, Yeah, I don't know. If you want me to actually just tell me in the comments if you want me to play more Logiart Grimoires. Like I could just like play it. I was thinking about it like during this video, but I noticed that I rambled for like 45 minutes now. So I kind of don't really want to play more. But if you just want to see me play the game, like play more Logiart, or maybe even play some Picross P. Like maybe I could do like a video of just me playing some Picross S plus. It could be fun. Yeah, I don't know. You can see. But yeah, let me know what when you thought about the comments. Let me know your experiences with Picross in general. Like what have you played? If there's any games that you liked. If you have like general strategies. Like I'm very curious to see more fellow Picross enthusiasts. Because again, like it's something that I really hold to my heart. It's something I'm like I don't really have I don't consider myself someone with a lot of capabilities, a lot of uh like very competent at things. But being good at Picross makes me feel good about myself because it feels like it's an actual talent that I have, even though it's not something that's that difficult. Technically, like I said, it's mostly about like the beginning and the end. The beginning and the end. Like you do from the left, do from the right, do from the top, do from the bottom. It's mainly just that. But my brain has adapted to it on to the point that like everything is so automatic for me. Like I'm on an autopilot. I mean, you probably seen when I finished the Picross earlier when I was not doing that much. Like everything was just automatic for me. Like every strategy is like encrusted in my brain by now, which is kind of cool because like I like that I feel like I'm good at it, you know. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. It was kind of fun. I definitely rumbled way more than I thought. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's something else I'm ready to say, but I don't think so. I'm probably gonna finish the video and be like, "Oh, fuck, you forgot about something." But yeah, if you're being intimidated by Picrosses, I don't think that was the best way to make you not intimidated, but I heavily recommend you to go ahead, like to suppress your fears. At first, it's gonna feel very intimidating. It's like I'm pretty sure like everyone is gonna be like, "Ooh, that seems complicated. That seems too hard. I don't understand what's happening." It's actually very easy, like way easier. And again, I'm not saying that to brag at all. I'm genuinely saying that, like objectively, it's a because these are not that difficult once you understand how it works. On understanding how it works takes a little bit of time. On it can be a bit difficult at first, but once you get it, it like it clicks, like it rolls. You're gonna like be on the roll the more and more, the more you understand how it works. You're gonna make mistakes. Something I haven't mentioned is that sometimes I make mistakes because I'm going too fast, because I'm making just some stupid mistakes. I haven't really talked about correcting mistakes. It's because that doesn't really happen a whole lot to me, but it does happen sometimes that I fuck something. Like I'm the end of a Picross and I see that like yeah, there's something that went wrong. I'm just like ooh. When that happens, I I don't know because it depends on the situation. There's always a situation where you can kind of see something actually that I can mention about that, and it's related to Zelda Picross 2, is that in Zelda Picross, all Picrosses have symmetry. If you play Zelda Picross, the fan game, I'm not talking about the one on the 3DS. If you play Zelda Picross, a lot of the Picrosses have symmetry to it, which means that the left and the right side are going to be the same, which helps a lot for some of the Picrosses. It's not the case for Picrosses in this game. Like, no Picross S Plus, they usually don't have any symmetry. If they do, sometimes they can. But yeah, like for Zelda Picross, like, or I'm talking about that for mistakes too. Try to look at the shape. Sometimes you should never have to assume. I like I only do that like if I'm like very like I'm annoyed. Like I've been thinking about the Picross for like a while and I can't find anything. I'm trying to look at the shape and see if that makes sense, if I feel a square. But you should never have to do that. You should never have to guess from the shape alone. But sometimes, like if you really like want to, you could kind of see it. There's like a lot of like little patterns on shapes that you can see sometimes that you're gonna recognize. You're gonna be like, oh, this is like a square, or like, oh, like this is filled, but like you can't confirm it, but like you'll be like, oh yeah, this one is a square that you can fill, like it makes sense. So yeah, like what I wanted to say about the mistakes is that if you make a mistake, try to think about the shape, if that makes sense. Like if in your head it's just like, oh yeah, maybe that square should probably be filled, then try to make it like an adequate shape. Yeah, I guess that's what I want to say. And it's a hint that I heavily recommend for Zelda Picross if you play it, because there's a lot of symmetry in this game, and the Picrosses in Zelda Picrosses are really hard. So yeah. But anyway, I rumbled a lot. This is probably gonna be a shitty video. People are gonna yell at me because I'm dumb, because I rumbled a lot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time for more. Like actually, like I'm gonna play more Sliderhead probably after that. So look forward to that. I know no one cares about Sliderhead, but I do. So yeah. Anyway, see you later. Thank you for watching. Take care.